The Oscars are supposed to be the ultimate seal of approval in the film world. But let's face it, the Academy doesn't always get it right. Some of the best films out there have been snubbed, proving you don't need a golden statue to be legendary. Here are 12 brilliant films that deserved Oscar glory but were left out in the cold. Kicking off our list is the criminally overlooked Irish musical comedy drama Sing Street. Directed by John Carney, this film offers a nostalgic and heartfelt look at a group of teenagers in 1980s Dublin who form a band to escape their drab school lives. Featuring a killer soundtrack of original songs that perfectly capture the spirit of the 80s, it received a 95% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Despite its rave reviews and a passionate fan base, the Academy decided to give this film the cold shoulder, bypassing it for even a single nomination. The fact that a film that cleverly tackles issues like youthful aspiration, troubled families, and first love got zero Oscar love is, quite frankly, a crime against cinema.
Rock and roll is a risk. You risk being ridiculed.
Jesus, what are you all wearing?
Yeah, we're just working that out.
That's great fun.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Have you kissed her yet?
She's got a boyfriend. Pulled off in his car, music blaring.
What was he listening to?
Genesis.
Locke was basically a one-man show starring Tom Hardy as a construction manager whose life unravels during a car ride. Directed by Stephen Knight, the film takes place entirely within the confines of a car, with Hardy's character the only one shown on screen. Despite its constrained setting, the film is a nail-biting emotional journey. It earned around $5 million at the box office and boasts a 91% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Yet, the Academy failed to unlock any love for Locke, leaving it devoid of Oscar nominations.
You're the man in charge of the entire operation, but you've decided you ain't gonna be there.
I'm not gonna turn back.
Hey, Dad, are you coming back?
Sean, something's happened. I need you to hold it together for me. It will be a long night.
We are facing $100 million worth of losses.
Listen, I will take care of it. I'm trying to do the right thing.
A Ghost Story. Don't let the title fool you. This isn't your typical haunted house flick. A Ghost Story is a philosophical examination of life, death, and the nature of time, featuring Casey Affleck and Rooney Mara. Director David Lowery used the symbol of a ghost, Affleck under a sheet, to explore themes of loss, legacy, and the need for human connection. The film, with its hauntingly beautiful narrative, earned a 91% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. However, despite the innovative storytelling and gorgeous cinematography, the Academy seemed to have been looking the other way during the Oscars, giving it precisely 0 nods.
We build our legacy piece by piece, and maybe the whole world will remember you, or maybe just a couple of people, but you do what you can to make sure you're still around after you're gone.
Columbus is a charming indie film that boasts a simple yet emotionally rich storyline. Starring John Cho and Haley Lou Richardson as two strangers who strike up a friendship in the Midwest town of Columbus, Indiana, the film is a love letter to architecture and human connections. Columbus was highly praised for its contemplative pacing, elegant framing, and delicate performances, earning a 97% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. But the Academy, in its infinite wisdom, did not consider the film worthy of any Oscar nomination somehow.
Why aren't you at the hospital?
He was never interested.
You don't want him to get better?
Maybe not.
You like her?
I think she's bright.
Beautiful road movie, American Honey, helmed by British director Andrea Arnold, follows a teenage girl who joins a traveling magazine sales crew and gets caught up in a whirlwind of partying and young love. The film, which introduced Sasha Lane and featured a stunning performance from Shia LaBeouf, was lauded for its poetic and raw depiction of youth and America's underclass. Despite winning the jury prize at the Cannes Film Festival and receiving a 79% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, the Academy failed to recognize American Honey with even a single nomination. Next on our list is the delightful black and white indie film Frances Ha. Directed by Noah Baumbach and starring the effervescent Greta Gerwig, the film follows an aspiring dancer navigating life and friendship in New York City. Frances Ha earned more than $11 million at the box office against its $3 million budget and holds a 92% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Still, the Academy turned a blind eye to this slice-of-life film.
Sometimes it's good to do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it.
A Most Violent Year is a crime drama that depicts New York City's most violent year, 1981, through the life of an honest immigrant and his wife trying to protect their business and family during the most dangerous year in the city's history. The film earned over $12 million at the box office and boasts an 89% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Despite Oscar Isaac's and Jessica Chastain's powerhouse performances, the Academy didn't deem it fit for any nominations.
Where did you get that?
Your youngest daughter found it in the bushes outside her front door. It's not a brick through a car window. This is your kid playing with a loaded gun. Katie!
The DA's coming down with 14-count indictment. We've just pushed it a little too far, that's all.
Can't have this situation continuing.
If one of these guys shoots someone, it will be the end of everything that we have worked for.
Hell or High Water. This modern Western heist film is an absolute marvel. Directed by David Mackenzie and written by Taylor Sheridan, the film features Chris Pine and Ben Foster as brothers who carry out a series of bank robberies to save their family ranch, with Jeff Bridges as a Texas Ranger hot on their trail. The film grossed $37.9 million worldwide, more than tripling its $12 million budget, and earned a 97% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Despite receiving 4 nominations, including Best Picture, it walked away empty-handed on Oscar night.
Mama, in that been a while?
3 months.
Bank breathing down her neck.
Everybody get on the ground! Y'all been here for a while?
Long enough to watch the bank getting robbed. Has been robbing me for 30 years.
How'd you manage to stay out of prison for a year? It's been difficult.
Don't stand up! These boys know exactly what they're doing.
In Bruges. Directed by Martin McDonagh, the film follows 2 hitmen hiding out in the titular Belgian city after a job gone wrong. In Bruges only made $33.4 million worldwide against its $15 million budget, but has a solid cult following and an 84% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Despite McDonagh's razor-sharp script and the splendid performances of Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, and Ralph Fiennes, the film was only nominated for its screenplay and won nothing. Luckily, it wasn't the last time McDonagh entered the Oscars race after all.
I've got an idea. I'm gonna go back to my room, jump into the canal, see if I can escape. If you go outside and round the corner, you can shoot at me from there and try and get me.
You guys are crazy.
1, 2, 3, go!
Paul Thomas Anderson's The Master is a psychological drama centered on a World War II veteran struggling to adjust to post-war society who falls under the influence of a charismatic leader of a cult-like movement. Joaquin Phoenix, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Amy Adams all gave powerhouse performances, making this film an actual acting tour de force. Despite earning 3 acting nominations, it was snubbed for Best Picture and Best Director.
Good science, by definition, allows for more than one opinion. Otherwise, you merely have the will of one man, which is the basis of cult.
And this is where we are at. To have to explain ourselves. For what? The only way to defend ourselves is to attack.
You know, you should wake up, Val. Your father's speaking. You might learn something.
He's making all this up as he goes along. You don't see that?
Jim Jarmusch's vampire drama, Only Lovers Left Alive, stands out for its distinct take on the vampire genre, enjoying a cult status, and rightfully so. Starring Tilda Swinton and Tom Hiddleston as cultured, sophisticated vampires contemplating their centuries-long existence, the film was more a melancholic love story than a horror flick. While it didn't draw much blood at the box office, earning around $7 million against a $7 million budget, it resonated with viewers, holding an 85% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. The Academy, however, seemed immune to its immortal charms, leaving it without any Oscar nominations.
I had a dream about your sister. Shouldn't she be sleeping in a coffin somewhere anyway? Preferably with a wooden stake shoved in.
I'm really, really hungry. Do you maybe have something?
Could you smell it all the way from LA?
It's always a bit weird with family.
You're looking awfully pale there, Dr. Caligari.
Leave No Trace is a quiet, beautiful film about a father and daughter who live off the grid in an urban park in Oregon. Directed by Deborah Granick, the film is a masterclass in storytelling, with rich performances by Ben Foster and breakout star Thomasin McKenzie. Despite its 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and inclusion in numerous top 10 lists in 2018, the Academy left Leave No Trace with 0 nods during the award season.
School is about social skills, not just intellectual ones.
I think it might be easier on us if we try to adapt.
We're wearing their clothes, we're in their house, we're eating their food, we're doing their work. We have adapted.